I welcome this bill. I believe this workplace relations bill is a key component of the Minister for Jobs, Enterprise and Innovation's programme of reform of the state's employment rights and industrial relations. This bill is the culmination of several years' work in terms of drafting proposals, holding public consultation and bringing the draft bill before the Joint Oireachtas Committee on Jobs, of which I am a member. At present, a worker involvement is in a dispute or with a complaint is faced with a confusing array of organisations. The nature of the complaint determines which organisation has jurisdiction, and even then, at times, this isn't clear. It's certainly a problem given the stress and vulnerability which is most likely being felt by workers in question under those circumstances. And the current system exacerbates the problem by prolonging it and by wasting resources. There are 5 separate organisations with overlapping but separate objectives and operations, and this leads to workplace claims being pursued through the wrong channels or arguments put forward under the wrong legislative basis. The best approach to resolving workplace disputes is one which does so speedily, fairly and transparently. With the Workplace Relations Bill, we will avoid the errors currently being experienced by all involved. This will be achieved by replacing the current 5 state bodies with 2, namely the Workplace Relations Commission and an expanded and enhanced Labour Court. The Workplace Relations Commission will deal with all cases in the first instance, while the Labour Court will deal with all appeals. A further welcome reform is the replacement of the different senior positions in the existing organisations with a single point of leadership, the Director General of the Workplace Relations Commission. Furthermore, the new WRC will be staffed by officials of the Department of Jobs, Enterprise and Innovation, another positive measure to eliminate duplication. One issue regarding the new workplace relations framework, which I have raised with Minister Bruton on several occasions, is that of fees. And in particular, I and other Oireachtas members, as well as stakeholders, have had concerns regarding the introduction of our levying of fees on a person wishing to access the new workplace relations services. I was encouraged by the Minister's response to my most recent Dáil reply, which he informed the Dáil that he does not propose to introduce charges on parties for access to the WRC services for many reasons, largely on account of the fact that a key priority in this reform programme is to improve access to the state's workplace relations services, and that the reforms being introduced would provide for an improved service in terms of cost efficiency and user friendliness for the users of the services, and I welcome that. In fact, the Workplace Relations Bill should form a template for what needs to happen elsewhere. I recently submitted Dáil questions to each department to ascertain the number of state agencies, bodies, working groups and committees under each department's remit, and I've received replies thus far from 12 departments, with 3 others being collated. And the details provided vary, but the common theme through all is the plethora of agencies and statutory bodies. And I'm aware that the Department of Public Expenditure and Reform is pursuing a reform programme. However, remains the fact that duplication and ambiguity continues. I know there's a lot of work both in this department and others in terms of removing and amalgamating many of the state agencies. But there are 40 state bodies, working groups and services providers within the Department of Justice, 22 under Transport, Tourism and Sport, 18 under the Department of Health and the Department of Communication, Energy and Natural Resources, 17 under Agriculture, Food and the Marine, 13 under Finance and 16 under Arts, Heritage and the Gaeltacht. My point is not to anyway denigrate the work that many of these organisations do. However, I would be failing as a representative of the public and a member of the Oireachtas if I did not raise concerns with the sheer number of organisations which collectively spend millions of euro public money each and every year. The Irish people deserve the highest quality public services delivered at the best value possible. Certainly without naming organisations, the attitude of some state agencies when contacted by public representatives is not good enough, in fact deplorable in certain circumstances, with responses ranging from clear irritation at being questioned to simply providing incomplete or less than accurate information. And in some cases, the TD is simply ignored and receives no reply at all, and not even an acknowledgement by some state agencies. When thankfully the economy is improving, the signs are encouraging, jobs are being created and unemployment is falling, such positivity is not an excuse to cease examining and scrutinising expenditure of public money down to the last cent. In this regard, I greatly welcome the Workplace Relations Bill. I welcome it because it will improve the enforcement of employment rights. I welcome it because it will improve access to non-court-based resolution processes. I welcome it because fees will not be levied on people who are experiencing problems in the workplace which have knock-on effects on their personal lives. And I welcome it because it represents what we campaign and pledge for public services working more efficiently and effectively for the public.